Hello and welcome back to my Nissan NV200 van conversion. In this video I want to share what roof bars I've been using on the van, and I'll be trying to solve one of the problems I've had with them: leaking. If you've been following my van build, then you may know that I'm building up my van to keep room for my surfboard down the centre. However, when I'm using the bed or I've got the van loaded with other things, the roof bars are essential to carry the board around. The NV200 has 3 sets of M8 screw threads in the roof. Whilst this creates a very secure way to mount roof bars, it does create the possibility of water ingress. After all, if you look through one of the holes you can see straight into the van. So any roof bar that is mounted needs to adequately cover these holes. Out of the factory, the mounting points in the NV200 ceiling are filled with small plastic screw-in plugs, each with a foam ring which is meant to prevent leaks, and a cross on the top with which to screw them in. However, over time these plugs perish to the point that dirt and water easily creep under the plugs. Putting on a set of roof bars should take care of 4 of the holes, so what about the other 2? Well, with the plugs completely unable to keep water out of the van, I took the plunge and epoxied them into their holes. Now this might seem quite drastic and permanent, but since I stuck them in place about a year ago I haven't had any problems with water. Circling back to the topic of this video, the roof bars I've chosen are Thule ones, made up of the 3085 fixed point kit, the Rapid System 753 feet set, and the 969 wing bars. The 3085 fixed point kit is a simple L-shaped plate with a sturdy rubber foot that bolts directly into the roof with M8 bolts. The 753 feet set screws into the fixed point kit from the back, and a lockable cover is inserted over the front to prevent access to the screws. When attached, these feet sit over the fixed point kit, giving it some protection from the elements, though in a bit I'll go into what this protection actually means. Finally, the 969 wing bars, which have now been superseded by the Evo 127 bars, tighten onto the feet to create a set of sturdy roof bars. They have a useful rubber strip along the top to provide some grip to whatever is placed on them. I've been very happy with these bars so far. They're very quiet, low profile, and they look great. But on a couple of occasions, I've had water get into the van from the roof via the fixing points. Unfortunately, it wasn't just a case of tightening the feet to the roof more, as these were already firmly attached. My first port of call was to study the fixed point kit and the feet set to work out where the water was getting in. Clearly this was through the threads in the roof, but with the rubber foot supposedly creating a seal on the roof around the thread, water was still clearly able to get in. Surprisingly, the feet are made with a number of areas where water can get in. Firstly, if the seal fails around the base of the foot, then water can easily make its way to the screw thread and into the van. Secondly, water can find its way in from the top of the feet, where the metal meets the rubber. And finally, and bizarrely, there is a gap in the back of the foot which will allow water in. Anyway, my initial thought was to seal every possible place the water could get in, but the last thing I wanted was to allow water to pool inside the roof bar feet. So I ended up with the fairly simple solution of sealing the bolts into the screw threads, therefore allowing water to come and go from the feet as it inevitably will. This particular thread locker will seal the bolt thread, is resistant to water and heat, protects against corrosion, will lock the bolts in place, and will withstand vibrations, which I think is important for vehicles. If the roof bars need to be removed in the future, then they can be with hand tools. I first took the roof bars off the roof. It hadn't rained overnight, but as I took the bars off, there was water coming out from under some of the feet, which confirmed my decision to seal the roof bars at the bolts. I should say at this point that the measures I'm taking on my roof bars are most definitely a DIY method to try and prevent leaks, and this isn't tried and tested or backed up with any evidence, but I'll be sure to share how I get on. I noticed a bit of dirt and light rust in the screw threads in the van roof, so I cleaned them out as best as possible. It appears just to be surface rust, and it's not something I'm going to worry about too much since I'm sealing the area. I could then make sure that everything was clean and dry. Cotton buds worked really well for cleaning the roof mounting points, and I wiped over the feet too, to ensure a good fixture later on. While I finish this, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Thanks. With everything clean and dry, I pushed the bolts back into the feet and applied some thread locker to their threads, turning the bolt and using the nozzle to spread it around evenly. I then gently eased the bars into place, alternating between both sides as I tightened until they were both firmly attached. I did the same for the second roof bar and could let the thread locker dry. So while I get the roof bars back on the roof, I thought I'd explain a little bit more about why I'm using thread locker. I looked into silicone sealant, pipe sealant, PTFE tape and liquid PTFE, but settled on Loctite thread locker to thread the bolt. My theory with sealing the bolt is that due to the design of the roof bars, water is always going to get into and through the feet. But as long as the thread is sealed and prevents water from trickling into the van, then the water will come and go without causing any problems inside of the van. As I said earlier, I will have to see how this method works. In my mind, this is the best way, but only time will tell whether the roof bars hold water out permanently. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with the rest of my van build series, and thanks for watching.